So you've been getting all these rumblings in your stomach, passing excessive gas, sometimes diarrhea, and just too much discomfort in your stomach, and you've come to the terms that you are lactose intolerant. And you wonder, am I supposed to live with lactose intolerance for the rest of my life? Am I supposed to avoid dairy products for the rest of my life, or is there a way around it? Let's find out. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about lactose intolerance. So what exactly is lactose intolerance? It means your body no longer has the ability to digest the lactose sugar found in dairy products, and this is because your body no longer produces the enzyme lactase, which is responsible for breaking down these lactose sugar into absorbable form. So lactose is generally two molecules of sugar combined, like bounded together. So when you consume dairy products, these sugars are bound together, and when they enter your digestive system, your body cannot absorb them when they are bounded together. And this is when the lactase enzyme comes in. This lactase enzyme now breaks the lactose into two separate sugar molecules, and this is an easier form to digest by your body. It is now digested and it is absorbed. But when you lack lactase enzyme, which is usually produced by your small intestine, when you lack lactase enzyme, then this lactose, it passes your gut undigested, it passes your small intestine, and it gets to your large intestine. And this is when it comes in contact with the bacteria present in your large intestine, and this bacteria metabolizes it, producing too much gas, too much acid, making the environment acidic, and this is what produces all that bloating, gas, flatulence, and it even attracts lots of water into your large intestine, and this is what brings about the diarrhea. So how does one become lactose intolerant? There are four types of lactose intolerance. The first type of lactose intolerance, which is the primary lactose intolerance, is the type which affects about 70% of the population. And this is the situation where the older you grow, the less your lactase reserve becomes. This is because during childbirth, everybody has abundant lactase in their reserve. But the more you grow older, the less and less your reserve becomes. This is because there is less need and less dependency on dairy products until you get to a point where your reserve is completely empty, or it becomes too little to digest the regular dairy products you consume. And this is when the symptoms of lactose intolerance begin to appear. The second type of lactose intolerance is the secondary lactose intolerance, whereby your stomach, the part of your small intestine that produces this lactase enzyme, is injured due to a certain disease, maybe inflammatory bowel disease, maybe celiac disease, or irritable bowel syndrome. So this is a secondary type because it is acquired later in life, and maybe this can be treated as soon as you treat the underlying condition. The third type of lactose intolerance is a developmental lactose intolerance. This is where babies that are born prematurely at the age of 6 months or 7 months have not fully developed the ability to produce lactase enzyme, and so at the initial stages after being breastfed, these symptoms are noticed. But this is something that improves gradually as the babies grow older. By the time they get to 9-10 months, their lactase producing ability is usually fully developed. And then the last part, which is the congenital lactose intolerance, and this is a case where babies are not born with lactase enzyme at all. They are not born with lactase producing abilities, and this case is usually noticed during early childhood, and it rarely goes unnoticed, and care is taken care of at the very initial stages of life. This is when babies are only fed formula milk and they stay away from their normal breast milk. So now you found out you're lactose intolerant. What should you do about it? Because we mentioned secondary lactose intolerance, it is important to check in with your doctor and rule out every other possibility of lactose intolerance. Maybe you have some underlying disease, because taking care of this disease might take care of your lactose intolerance. The next step after you've ruled out every other disease is you have two options. Firstly, if you want to continue consuming the normal dairy animal products, then you have two options. You either develop tolerance to it, and this is what happens gradually when you continue introducing animal products into your body, but at a controlled pace. So for example, you want to continue consuming normal animal milk, then you maybe start with this month consuming just a quarter cup of milk throughout the month. gradually and see how your body reacts to it, and then the next month you increase the quantity to half cup and then to full cup eventually. That is one way to do it. Or you consume the regular animal product, but you make sure you combine it with other foods so that it is not super concentrated, or you spread it throughout the day. That means if you want to consume 1 cup of milk in a day, instead of taking it at once, you divide it. Maybe take half cup in the morning and half cup in the evening. Now the second option. The second option is to talk to your doctor and get the lactase supplement, because this lactase is available in form of tablet or pills. You can talk to your doctor, you can get it from the pharmacy with or without prescription, I'm not sure. And when you get that, you take it as soon as you take any dairy product, maybe cheese, maybe milk, maybe yogurt, whatever is it you have to do. Second category of people where you do not mind foregoing all the animal dairy products, then you are free to choose the lactose-free options, which are very much available in different varieties in the supermarkets everywhere you go. We have the soy milk option, the rice milk, the coconut milk, the oat milk. There are so many varieties out there, and you can save yourself the trouble. Another thing to take note of is that your lactose intolerance is dependent on the quantity, the type, and the nature of the dairy product you consume. So for example, someone consuming a whole cup of regular milk might get worse symptoms compared to someone taking a full cup of yogurt. This is because for a yogurt, the fermentation process and the shelf life, it decreases the amount of lactose in it. Also, there is a bacteria present in yogurt, the lactobacillus bacteria. It has this lactose digesting ability, so you get less symptoms when you consume certain dairy products compared to others. Similarly with cheese, the fermentation process and the shelf life and all this processing, they reduce significantly the amount of lactose found in this. So at the end of the day, it all depends on what your preferences are and how far you are willing to either cure your lactose intolerance, develop tolerance, or forgo the dairy products altogether. The last important thing to note is that lactose intolerance is different from milk or dairy allergy, because dairy allergy is an autoimmune process and the symptoms tend to be much severe and much more life-threatening than lactose intolerance. If you are interested in that, I will be making a video about milk allergy next week, so check it out in my videos. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. My name is Nima, and I'll see you in my next video.